It was supposed to be another ordinary night inside a quiet Oklahoma City home. Two exhausted parents, Brennan Christine Spencer and James Kelson, nestled into the rhythm of caring for their newborn twins, RK and LK, just 2 months into life. But beneath the surface of sleep deprivation and nightly chaos was a growing crack in the foundation: alcohol. What started as a shared pack of White Claws soon turned into a devastating tragedy that would leave one baby dead, a mother charged with murder, and a father left pleading for help on Facebook. On the evening of November 1st, 2024, Spencer and Kelson reportedly split a 12-pack of high-alcohol seltzer drinks, 8% alcohol per can. The decision, in hindsight, would come to define the fate of their infant son. According to Spencer, she later left around 1:23 a.m. to pick up more drinks from a local 7-Eleven, returning 4 minutes later with yet more White Claws. Her actions, later corroborated by store surveillance footage and the cans found in the trash, painted a picture of a mother deep into a binge. By her own admission, she was probably really drunk, so much so that she passed out almost immediately on the couch after morning came, and with it horror. James Kelson awoke shortly before 7 a.m. expecting to find his partner and their children in the bedroom. But neither Spencer nor the twins were there. Instead, in the living room, Spencer lay unconscious on the couch, cradling baby LK in her arms. At her feet lay RK, still lifeless. He was unresponsive, not breathing, but still warm to the touch. Blood stained his tiny face. Emergency responders were called, but it was too late. RK was pronounced dead at OU Children's Hospital. The shock was seismic. How could this happen? Why wasn't RK in his bassinet? And more critically, who was to blame? The autopsy would from asphyxia due to an unsafe sleeping environment. According to Deputy Chief Child Abuse Examiner Ryan Brown, Spencer's high level of intoxication made her unaware of the danger she had put her child in. He determined that her impaired state constituted neglect, and that neglect ultimately caused RK's death. Had RK been placed safely in his bassinet, experts believe he would likely still be alive today. But was this murder or a terrible accident? Oklahoma prosecutors believed it crossed a line. On July 2, 2025, 8 months after RK's death, Spencer was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. The affidavit laid out a chilling account. She had unlawfully, willfully, knowingly, and wrongfully failed to protect her infant son from a dangerous situation she created by drinking herself into unconsciousness. In that state, prosecutors argue she failed her basic duties as a mother and a life was lost, yet this case is far from simple. Defense attorney Bradford Cohen, a seasoned legal voice, offered a sobering analysis. These cases, he said, are the most tragic because they often stem not from evil intent, but from heartbreakingly human mistakes. Across the country, exhausted parents sometimes bring babies into bed or onto couches, not out of malice, but survival. The difference here? The alcohol. It wasn't just an accident, it was allegedly an avoidable one, with evidence of excessive drinking and poor judgment. Still, the legal path forward is murky. There is no video of RK's final moments. No forensic certainty that Spencer physically rolled onto him or that suffocation occurred as a result of her positioning. All that's known is that he was placed in a dangerous sleep environment by a caregiver, so impaired that she can't recall what happened. That ambiguity could be the defense's lifeline. Without a direct cause tying her actions to the child's death, a skilled attorney could argue that second-degree murder is an overreach. The timing of the arrest, 8 months after the incident, also raises questions. According to Assistant District Attorney Meredith Harmon, it was the finalized autopsy report that prompted the charge. But some see it as a strategic pause, perhaps to weigh the emotional gravity of arresting a grieving mother, or to build a stronger case behind the scenes. Meanwhile, Spencer sits in jail on a staggering $500,000 bail, without a plea entered and without clarity on whether she'd be able to mount a robust legal defense. Kelson, the father, has remained mostly silent publicly until Spencer's arrest. In a heartbreaking Facebook post, he pleaded for help, asking if anyone knew any pro bono lawyers who could assist Mom and me with the case. Whether he'll be charged or called as a witness remains unclear. But if he takes the stand in her defense and disputes the narrative that Spencer was solely responsible, it could muddy the waters even further for the prosecution. This case is a courtroom powder keg, emotionally charged, factually murky, and devastating in its implications. Jurors will likely be forced to navigate a tangled maze of guilt, grief, responsibility, and mercy. Prosecutors, meanwhile, will need to convince a jury that this wasn't just a lapse in judgment, but a criminal failure to protect a vulnerable life. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, unsafe sleep practices are the leading cause of death for infants between 1 month and 1 year of age. RK's death is a tragic addition to that statistic. But statistics don't convey the whole story, the emotional wreckage left behind, the unanswered questions, the sense of what might have been. On an online memorial page, RK's family left behind a quote, "Sometimes the smallest things take up the most room in your heart." In just 2 short months of life, RK left an imprint so deep that it may echo in Oklahoma courtrooms for years to come. And as his case unfolds, the justice system will be forced to answer a chilling question: when does a parent's heartbreak become a crime?